Oh, God.
We've all heard different things about Obamacare, how it's good for us, how we're going to have, the middle class is going to have increased tax hikes, how everyone's going to be covered by insurance, and the fact that everyone's covered by insurance is going to offset the fact of people that aren't covered by insurance and lower the cost of healthcare in general. I'm here today to give you a little bit of perspective on how it's going to affect 4 different groups of people. Obamacare and the middle class. In the article Obamacare, 7 New Taxes on Citizens Earning Less Than $250,000 a Year by Robert L. Bellini, it says that there are 7 new taxes for citizens making less than $250,000 a year. Only one of these new taxes is directed at the healthcare industry businesses. While they will not directly impact the general public, the additional costs will most likely be passed on to the public. And of course, there are several tax increases. The medical itemized deduction hurdle, which is the hurdle that one must meet in order to have the deduction for their medical expenses met, is currently set at 7.5%. Obamacare plans to raise this hurdle to 10% of your adjusted gross income beginning in 2013. What this means for you is that your medical itemized deductions must equal 10% or more of your adjusted gross income in order for you to be eligible to claim them as a deduction, whereas right now they're set at the 7.5. Obamacare also affects small businesses. The government won't require companies with fewer than 50 employees to offer health insurance starting in 2014, and therefore these companies won't have to contend with the possible fines from the government like bigger companies. While firms with 50 fewer workers will be exempt from coverage provisions, they will still have to contend with the rising premiums. In the beginning of 2010, companies with less than 25 employees pay the majority of healthcare premiums for their workers qualify for a tax credit of 35% of their premiums. In 2014, the tax credit can be as great as 50% of the premiums of your average insurance via one small business operation programs or the shop exchanges. The tax breaks you will get will depend on a couple of variables such as the employee's salary and the number of employees that you have. Obamacare also affects large companies. Take, for instance, the founder of Papa John's, John Schneider, who has said President Barack Obama's health care reform law will cause his prices to jump by 11 to 14 cents per pizza. Not a whole lot to pay an extra quarter so everyone can have health insurance. But he's also said that he's talked about scaling back employees' hours. Papa John's isn't the only one that's raised complaints about the Obamacare impact. Darden restaurants, who own Red Lobster and the Olive Garden, is testing moving some workers to part-time status to avoid having to provide healthcare insurance under the new law. The Denny's franchise owner also said that he would cut back employees' hours and even mused about an Obamacare tax that he would then pass on to consumers. If you have 50 employees or more, you will face a major choice. Businesses with 50 employees or more will have the choice beginning in 2014. They can sponsor a health plan to cover 100% of their employees, or they can pay $750 per worker in penalties to the federal government. Obamacare also affects students. In the article, 5 Devastating Effects Obamacare Will Have on Young Adults by Aaliyah Sanger, it says that premiums increases by Obamacare imposing age ratings rules that increase premiums for young adults. That law allows premiums costs to vary by a ratio of 3 to 1 based on age alone. Loss of coverage due to new rules that prohibit plans with annual limits. Younger generations will be left footing the bill for Obamacare. President Obama does not reduce health care insurance premiums, spendings, or the deficit. The latest cost estimate of Obamacare insurance provisions is at $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years, which does not include the full decade of spending, since most of the expensive provisions don't begin until 2014. As the national debt approaches $16 million and the cost of Obamacare continues to rise, younger Americans will be saddled with the crushing taxes to pay for this. Do you feel that this will help or hurt you and the economy? For the middle class, you can look forward to 6 different tax hikes. If you're a small business, there are going to be several different tax hikes and even tax incentives that promote you to become an LLC. Healthcare premiums for workers qualify for a tax credit of up to 35% of their premiums. If you're a corporation, you have 2 choices. You can cover 100% or you can spend $750 per worker that's full-time. Or you could just cut half your staff back to part-time and not have to insure them. The choices aren't very good. If you're a student, premium increases by Obamacare, along with imposes age rating rules that increase premiums for young adults, don't put us in a very good situation at all. So it looks like we're going to be looking at higher taxes for young adults and college students, as well as the middle class facing a lot of tax hikes as well. Unfortunately, for the majority of people, I don't see this helping. But I do see it helping for small businesses, and that's what America has been founded on. We were founded on small businesses. That's how we came to where we are today and are doing what we are doing as well as we are now. If it wasn't for small businesses, we wouldn't have corporations. So it's up to you. Where do you fall in? How will it affect you?